Hello students, today let's learn the concept of area. So first of all, we have to understand what is this concept area. So for that, suppose if we take any random diagram in this plane, now this diagram covers some space from this plane. So that space is called as area. So in short, we can define area as the space occupied by a two-dimensional diagram in a plane is called as area. Now before this we have studied the area of various geometrical figures. Let's revise that one. First of all, the square. So this is the square. We know the property of square, that is all the sides of square are congruent. So if this is quadrilateral ABCD, and in this one if AB is congruent to BC is congruent to CD is congruent to AD, that is if AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to AD, then in that case we say that quadrilateral ABCD is a square. Now to find the area of this square, that is to find the portion of the space which is occupied by this quadrilateral or this square, we have the formula area of a square is equal to side square. Now here all the sides of this quadrilateral are congruent. That's why the formula in the formula we have taken here side square, because all the four sides are congruent. So we can take any of these sides in this formula. So suppose if the side of this square is 4 centimeter, then all the sides of this square are 4 centimeter. That's why we can find area of a square by having the formula area of a square is equal to side square, that is 4 square, that's 16 square centimeter. So this is the first diagram. Now we have the second type of a quadrilateral, that's the rectangle. So this is the rectangle given. Now apart from the square, we can see here that in this case only opposite sides are congruent. These are the two pairs of opposite sides of this quadrilateral. So in this case all the sides of quadrilateral are not congruent. So the longest side we can treat it as the length, and the smallest side we can treat it as breadth of a rectangle. So by having these two, we can have the formula for area of a rectangle as area of a rectangle is equal to length into breadth. So this is the formula for area of the rectangle. Let's have the next diagram, that's the triangle. So this is the triangle given. Now if we have to find the area of the triangle, let us name this triangle firstly as triangle ABC. Now we can take any of these three sides as a base, and if we have to find the area of the triangle, we need another concept, that is the height of that triangle. So if we consider here BC as a base, then the perpendicular segment drawn from its opposite vertex is its height. So if we draw a perpendicular from point A to side BC, and if we name it as AD, then in this case AD is the height of this triangle, and as it is drawn perpendicular on side BC, that's why BC is the base. So by having this, we can have the formula for area of a triangle as area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 into base into height. So in this case here BC is the base and AD is the perpendicular drawn on BC, that's why AD is the height. So by having this formula we can find the area of the triangle given. Let's have the next diagram, that's the parallelogram. We know the concept of parallelogram. For a quadrilateral, if the opposite sides are parallel to each other, then it is called as a parallelogram. In this diagram, for this quadrilateral, let us name this as quadrilateral PQRS. Side PQ is parallel to side SR, and side PS is parallel to side QR, as we can see. That's why quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram. Now if we have to find the area of this quadrilateral, now if we can make some changes to it, suppose if we draw a perpendicular from point P on side SR, and if we cut this portion and if we try to join this portion at the opposite side of the PS, then in this case we can get a rectangle. So by having these modifications, we can have the formula for area of a parallelogram as area of a parallelogram is equal to base into height. If we cut this triangle and if we try to join this in this remaining portion, in this case we get a rectangle, and for that we have PQ as the length and this part as the breadth. So we can treat QR as the breadth of a parallelogram and PQ as the length of a parallelogram. So we get the same formula as the rectangle, and the formula for area of a rectangle is length into breadth. So here if we consider the base as the length and this perpendicular side as height, then we have the formula for area of a parallelogram as base into height. So this is the formula for area of a parallelogram. Now we'll solve one example based on this concept. If the base of parallelogram is 10 centimeter and height is 7 centimeter, then find its area. So here we have to use this formula, area of parallelogram is equal to base into height. Now in this question, the base of parallelogram is given to be 10 and height is given to be 7. So we have to just replace here base by 10 into height is 7. So 10 into 7, that's 70 square centimeter, or we can also write it as centimeter square. So this is the area of a given parallelogram. Now let us have the next diagram, that's the rhombus. Now first of all, let us know what is a rhombus. If all the four sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then, so here for this quadrilateral all the four sides are congruent, that's why it is called as a rhombus. Now if we have to find the formula for area of a rhombus, we should draw two diagonals of this rhombus. So let us have these two diagonals, and by having these two diagonals, so suppose if this is a quadrilateral A, B, C, D, then in this case diagonal AC and diagonal BD intersecting at point M. So if it is the case, then we have the formula for area of a rhombus as area of a rhombus is equal to 1/2 into product of diagonals. That's why we can write here 1/2 into product of the diagonals, that is the first diagonal is AC into the second diagonal is BD. So this is how we can find the area of rhombus. Then we have another type of a quadrilateral, that's the trapezium. Now here the difference between parallelogram and trapezium is that in case of trapezium there is only one opposite pair of sides is parallel. So as we can see here, suppose this is quadrilateral LMNO, then in this case we can observe side LM is parallel to side ON, and the another pair, that is OL and MN, is not parallel. That's why this quadrilateral LMNO is a trapezium. Now to find the area of trapezium, we can do some modifications. Suppose if we draw perpendicular from point L to ON, and let us name this as LB, and if we draw another line segment which is perpendicular to ON from point M, let it be MD, then in this case, as we can see, as we have drawn two perpendicular lines here, we get the first diagram which is a right angle triangle. We have another right angle triangle, and the remaining portion, the third portion, is a rectangle. So for these two right angle triangles, if we have the base, if we have height, then we can find the areas of these two right angle triangles, and by having the length and the breadth of the third diagram, that is the rectangle, we can find the area of the rectangle by using its formula. So if we modify this to make a formula for finding the area of trapezium, we can have the formula as area of the trapezium is equal to 1/2 into sum of the lengths of parallel sides into height. Now specifically if we consider this diagram, here the parallel sides are LM and ON. So we can write here 1 half into sum of the lengths of parallel sides, that is LM, plus ON, because this is the sum of the lengths of parallel sides, into height is either we can take LB or MD as its height. So into LB, or we can write MD also. So this is how we can find the area of any trapezium by using this formula. Lastly, the last diagram for which we have to find the area is the circle. So this is the circle. We can define a circle as, suppose there is one point given in a plane. Suppose this is point O. The set of all such points which are equidistant from point O is called as a circle. So this is the basic definition of a circle. Now if we join the center of a circle to any point on the circle, suppose there is point A on the circle, and if we join these 2 points, is any point on the circle and the center of a circle, this distance is called as a radius, which is denoted by a letter R. So to find the area of a circle, we need only one variable, that is the radius. So if we have the radius of given circle, by that we can find the area of a circle by the formula area of a circle is equal to pi r square. So these are the some of the formulae by which we can find the area of given diagrams. So using these formulae, you can solve various examples based on this. I hope you understand this concept.